What if beauty and youth were eternal, but at a devastating price? Ponder upon this as we delve into the world of The Picture of Dorian Gray, penned by the master of wit, Oscar Wilde. A tale that unfurls the enigma of beauty and its eternal pursuit. It introduces us to the protagonist, Dorian Gray. A man bestowed with remarkable beauty, Dorian remains ever youthful, while a hidden portrait of him ages and decays, mirroring the degradation of his soul. This intriguing narrative explores profound themes, such as the allure of eternal beauty, the fleeting nature of youth, the moral dilemmas faced by individuals, and the essence of the human soul. It presents a captivating interplay of aesthetics and ethics, posing questions that linger long after the last page is turned. It's a story that challenges us to reflect on our own perceptions of beauty and morality. Dive with us into the haunting narrative of Dorian Gray, where every chapter reveals a piece of this dark puzzle. Each chapter of The Picture of Dorian Gray is a journey into the human psyche. Our journey begins with Dorian Gray, a young man of extraordinary beauty, innocent and unblemished. In the early chapters, we are introduced to Dorian's relationship with two significant characters, Lord Henry Wotton and Basil Hallward. Basil, the artist, is entranced by Dorian's beauty, which he immortalizes in a portrait. This portrait is not just a piece of art, it becomes a mirror reflecting Dorian's soul. Lord Henry, on the other hand, is a man of influence, a charming cynic who introduces Dorian to a hedonistic lifestyle. He plants the seeds of vanity and fear in Dorian's mind, fear of losing his cherished beauty and youth. Under this influence, Dorian wishes that his portrait would age instead of him. This wish, unbeknownst to him, is granted, setting the stage for a tale of moral decay. As we delve further into the book, we observe Dorian's transformation from an innocent youth to a corrupt man. He indulges in every sinful pleasure, his actions growing increasingly vile, yet his face remains untouched by time or sin. His portrait, however, tells a different story. It ages and decays, bearing the weight of his sins, becoming a grotesque representation of his soul. In the heart of the book, Dorian's relationships start to crumble. His actions lead to the tragic end of his innocent love, Sybil Vane. Guilt and fear begin to gnaw at him, yet he continues his path of self-destruction, spurred on by Lord Henry's hedonistic philosophies. Basil, once his friend, confronts Dorian about the rumors of his debauchery. In a fit of rage, Dorian shows Basil the portrait, the ugly truth of his soul. Unable to bear the sight, Dorian murders Basil, marking a point of no return in his descent into evil. The book does not shy away from philosophical discussions and moral dilemmas. It explores the concept of aestheticism, the pursuit of beauty in every aspect of life, and its potential dangers when taken to the extreme. It delves into the dual nature of man, the battle between appearance and reality, between the superficial and the soul. As we near the end, Dorian, tormented by his deeds, seeks redemption. He tries to make amends, to find some goodness within himself, but his actions are driven more by fear of the consequences rather than genuine remorse. In a desperate attempt to escape his past, he stabs his portrait, his own reflection, leading to his downfall. As the chapters unfold, we see the dire consequences of Dorian's pursuit of eternal beauty and youth. Dorian Gray, once a symbol of innocence, becomes a warning against unchecked vanity and hedonism, a tragic figure consumed by his own image. But what are the core themes that Oscar Wilde wants us to ponder on? Well, let's dive in and take a closer look at the heart of the matter. Firstly, Wilde's novel presents a scathing critique of vanity and superficiality. The protagonist, Dorian Gray, becomes so enamored with his own physical beauty that he bargains his soul for eternal youth. This obsession with surface appearances underscores Wilde's warning against the dangers of superficiality. It's a reflection of the society of his time, where value was often placed on outward beauty rather than inner worth. Secondly, the book explores the duality of human nature. Dorian, on the outside, maintains his angelic appearance, while his portrait bears the scars of his moral decay. This stark contrast between his external beauty and internal ugliness brings to light the complexity of human nature. It shows us that people often wear masks, concealing their true selves beneath a veneer of respectability. Thirdly, the novel delves into the moral implications of living a life solely for pleasure. Dorian's hedonistic lifestyle, devoid of any moral constraints, ultimately leads to his downfall. Wilde uses Dorian's story to question the ethics of a life lived without consideration of the consequences of one's actions. Lastly, Wilde's commentary on Victorian society and its values is unmissable. The Picture of Dorian Gray presents a society obsessed with appearances, where morality is secondary to pleasure and beauty. It's a biting critique of the hypocrisy and shallow values of the Victorian era. In essence, Wilde's novel is not just a tale of a man's downfall due to his obsession with youth and beauty. It's a mirror held up to society, reflecting its flaws and contradictions. It's an exploration of the human psyche, the duality of our nature, and the consequences of unchecked hedonism. Wilde's novel forces us to question our own values in the society we live in. It's a timeless piece of literature that continues to resonate with readers, even in the present day. As we close the book, the echoes of Dorian Gray's tale linger. The journey we've embarked on today has taken us through the labyrinth of Oscar Wilde's imagination, where beauty and youth are both a blessing and a curse. We've delved into the heart of Dorian Gray, a character tormented by his own vanity, his desire for eternal youth, and his dread of morality. This exploration of beauty, youth, and the human soul is not merely confined to the pages of Wilde's novel. It's a mirror reflecting our own societal obsession with appearances and the lengths we go to preserve them. It's a timeless reminder of the transience of beauty, the inevitability of aging, and the moral implications of our choices. Dorian Gray's story continues to resonate today, a testament to Wilde's genius. It nudges us to contemplate our own values, desires, and the price we're willing to pay for them. In the end, the Picture of Dorian Gray leaves us with a haunting question. What price are we willing to pay for eternal youth and beauty?